Thanks for the help.
They're after you. Defend me.
I bet Z can get the data off this disk.
Welcome, welcome. Make yourself at home.
Do you ever miss the glory days, Cal? The cut and thrust, the rough and tumble.
That sounds like every day. Not that it's glorious.
Well, I certainly had some glorious years. I'm sure I never told you about the incident over at Munilinst.
Don't think you did.
I was personally escorting a shipment of, well, let's call it a sensitive luxury product. Unfortunately, we were accosted by a customs longship. The fence had failed to update our transponder codes and our vessel was marked. Well, push comes to shove, and we were boarded. I've got 3 customs officers waving blasters under my nose, so what do? I throw on the waterworks. Oh, Cal, you cannot imagine. I'm swearing up and down about everything from past marriages to lower back pain. Almost work, too. But one pesky officer decided to kick open a shipping container full of the slightly incriminating powder.
Guess the jig was up.
Oh, Cal, you're looking at a professional. I told them that they were looking at the ashes of 1,000 ritually cremated Sereno war heroes. And by the stars, they bought it. The inspectors actually bought it. That, Cal, is why I'm here instead of rotting in a Munilinst work camp. Another time.
What's your academy like?
Oh, amazing. Every building is partially suspended with repulsors. The campus looks like it's floating over the ground. It's magical.
It sounds like a hard place to leave behind.
It was, but things were changing. Looking down, you used to see nothing but nature. The ground is covered in ferrocrete now, all part of an Imperial control zone. Hey.
So how'd you go from making sounds on Ryosa to becoming a producer?
Well, I put together a few rough tracks, handed them out to friends, and things spread word of mouth. Started playing enough gigs to do it full time. Eventually, someone with influence caught a listen as they were passing through. They'd worked with Max Rebo, so I figured they were legit.
Max Rebo? That is legit.
Exactly. Said they could give me some gigs in the Corps. When they said Corps, I heard like Chandrila. Nah, they meant Coruscant. So that's where I went. Enjoy the beats, Cal.
A lot of prospectors around here. Have you ever tried your hand at mining priorite?
Once. I found it enlightening. Some prospectors invited me to join them on an expedition. We descended to the mines, but when my back was turned, they fled.
They ditched you?
Yes. Alone, I calmly walked through the darkness, trusting my intuition. I found another exit.
And the prospectors?
Dead. Gorako attack. If I had chased them, I would have perished too. Let this be a lesson. Always go your own way. I must be alone now.
Got a second, Monk? What skills do you need to be a good bartender?
Oh, the usual. Multitasking, a good memory, the gift of the gab, not to mention the mixology itself. You see, the better the drinks, the happier the clientele, which means, of course, the more they talk. And the more they talk, the more I learn about what makes them tick.
Sounds a little...
Manipulative? I suppose. But I'm only picking up what they're freely putting down. Remember to relax every now and then, will you? Too much tension in the coils is bad for the joints, if you catch my drift.
It was good to see you.
Seems like the raider problem here is getting worse on the daily.
They've got a new leader. No surprise they're getting bolder.
Well, I guess that's why they call it hazard pay. Not much to be done, is there?
Talk like that's gonna get us both killed.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's get his take. What do you propose we do, Cal?
You should avoid the raiders. Scrapping is dangerous, but they're worse.
Kid's right, Dana. No more jobs on gang turf. Too risky with them raiders.
Ha! I ain't gonna be intimidated by a few goons with attitude. This is just what we scrappers do. We grab anything that looks valuable.
And hope it isn't load-bearing. Yeah, I get it. But you're underestimating the raiders.
Due respect, we've made it this far. And there's no way I'm quitting.
We're...
Right. No way we're quitting now.
Hey, we're thinking of plugging fresh energy cores into the dams at Dredger Gorge. See if we can get them working again.
Not a bad idea. Where'd you learn to do that?
Old friend of ours. Top-notch engineer. Had a winning smile, too.
That he did.
Good friend to have around.
You'd think. But the guy shorted us on our cut after a big take. So, Grok may have left an anonymous tip with the authorities.
Yeah.
This how you treat all your friends?
Don't you mind, Cal. Real friends like you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. See you when I see you.
How you doing?
Tanalor. You know much about it?
Only what I've seen in visions.
Right. Totally normal answer. How's it look in those visions?
Beautiful. It's a paradise, a haven. Not just somewhere to hide, but somewhere to live.
Well, I like the sound of that.
I think we can do a lot of good there, too.
Let's focus on getting ourselves there first. Everything else can come later.
You're right.
This is the first time for everything. Don't worry about things here, Cal.
How long have the Raiders been here?
Few years. Not long after I arrived. I don't know a planet in the Outer Rim free of raiders in general, but these bedlam bastards have changed Kobo forever. Most hunters know you cull when you need to, and you stop hunting when a herd gets too low. These raiders kill for sport, and made a lot of those beasts much more hostile to us. Take Shepherd-Pedes, for example. When they lose habitat, they get territorial and fight back.
Same as us, really.
Sure enough. Biggest mistake our kind ever made was thinking we are any different. Talk soon.
Hey, kid. I got some bad news on our favorite Ordo Eris fanatic.
I already know Sork Tormos put a fresh bounty on my head.
You do?
One of your regulars clued me in on his game. She's been keeping tabs on the Haxian brood, so this time we've got the jump on him.
Sheesh. You figure that guy would let things go by now. Always something to do, huh?
There he is. Got your first target lined up. Looks like some Hexian hack named Kip Oster has been slinking around Dredger Gorge. This guy likes to catch his prey off guard, so watch your back.
Thanks for the tip.
Thank me when you turn in his bounty puck. Listen, now that we're partners...
Partners, huh?
Business associates, best buds, call us whatever you will. Point is, our relationship is an investment. And we've got bigger fish to fry than these raider hacks.
I'll get to those bounties, but if my friends are in trouble, they take priority.
You're gonna get killed with that attitude, Cal. But on a certain level, I can respect it.
These look interesting.
Try not to die.
So why don't you go down the rope?
You know why, old man. My leg's no good.
Where were we? Ah, yes. By virtue of my prodigious fishing talents, I was taken to see the mysterious one they call Undone. I can see it still. Wee scuba, ushered into yon black-mouthed cave. I could barely make out the figure, glinting with moonlight. I scrubbed my eyes, like a old tar scrubbing the deck. And there she was, a vast creature. Great tentacles blooming from her blubber, like cables gorging on a fuel tank. One of the tentacles twitched into the air, just over my head, and then, wham! Right on the noggin, so I'm told. I staggered out the cave like a lover first acquainted with a deck. But something else happened. I think when that fell tentacle struck me, Undone took something straight out to me brain and put something else in.
She put something in your brain?
Aye, boy. The subtle art of catching a fish. The art of focus. And in the dark, with nothing but the bristles on your chin for company, that focus is special. From that day forward, when I plunged my line into the frigid waters, it would emerge with a fish. 3 times out of 7.
That's less than half.
My village told me that I'd be the one to save them from the great fish famine. Little did I know that the grapnel was soon to arrive on our shores.
Gonna assume that's a bad thing.
Perhaps, lad. And perhaps not. But that'll be a story for another time.
Cal, you're back. How goes the search for Tanalor?
We've got a few leads.
Excellent. Not now, Cal. Good to see you, young Jedi.
This one.
A most wise decision. Step forward, Cal.
Cal, I've got a question for an accomplished warrior like yourself.
Say your enemies are closing in fast, with blasters drawn and murder in their eyes.
Okay.
What do you do?
I focus on the moment and trust my training. Overthinking what will happen can make you freeze up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the most important thing is to know what you're fighting for.
My life?
And that's a start.
I'm really busy, Cal. Maybe later.
Hey, Zig. What's going on?
Enjoying the view. Not often we get this much of a crowd at Pyloon's. Great to see you.
Garden's looking kind of respectable.